Hello, today we'll mainly be checking out two simultaneous earthquakes across the mid-Atlantic ridge and a very weird development in Storm Martin. Let's start out with our volcanoes in Washington coming over to Mount Rainier. In the past 24 hours there was a magnitude 0.4 and it had a 10.7 kilometer depth, so it was a little bit deeper than normal. Down here in Mount St. Helens there was a magnitude 0.5 in the past 24 hours and it had a 3.2 kilometer depth, so bit more shallow than the earthquake up here at Mount Rainier. And taking a quick look north of those quakes, we can see two more small earthquakes in the Puget Sound. Coming down to Los Angeles, there was a small magnitude 2.0 just off the coast of Malibu Beach. Now coming more south, heading towards Mexico, see three more quakes down here in Baja, California. Now over in Central America, there was a few not so large, a magnitude 4.7 and another magnitude 4.7. One of these was off shore Guatemala, and another one was on land in Mexico. Looks like they both had a did you feel it of 2. And they were also deeper earthquakes at 81 kilometers and 65 kilometers. Taking a look at seismic activity in Hawaii, it doesn't look like there is too much of note in the past 24 hours. The largest earthquake was a magnitude 3.3, and that was at 0603. Had a did you feel it of 3. Over here in Japan today, about 11 hours ago, there was a magnitude 4.9 near Chiba, Japan. This was on land. Now, this is a relatively small earthquake for Japan, but this was actually felt somewhat strongly. Looks like there was actually 2 earthquakes about an hour apart. Coming over to Romania, there was a magnitude 5.1. This was today at 0450. Now, this was a deep earthquake. This was at 148 kilometers. It also had a did you feel it of 5. Coming over to the event page, there was 198 felt reports to the American agency for a European earthquake. Looking at the plotted did you feel it reports, looks like most of these felt reports are south of the earthquake down here in Bucharest. Alright, so we are getting quite a few stations to load here in Romania. Here are the location of all those stations. Looks like these are all going to be on the RO network, and we can see the signature of that earthquake coming into all of these stations very well. Interestingly, this station has a signal coming in right now. There was just an earthquake on the Reykjanes Ridge. Some of these P&S waves are very defined. Alright, so this is very interesting. Just now we've had near simultaneous earthquakes in the North Atlantic Ocean and South Atlantic Ocean. At 2059, there was a magnitude 5.0 in the South Atlantic Ocean, and then at 2047, so just 12 minutes before that other quake, there was a magnitude 5.4 at the Reykjanes Ridge. So as long as neither of these events are ghost events, then these happened basically simultaneously on the same major fault. So here's a station here, CH Willa. This station is in northern Switzerland, and we can see a signature of most likely one of those earthquakes on the mid-Atlantic ridge coming in just right now. Here's a station in France. We can see another signature of most likely one of those earthquakes. A few more stations across here, we can see a slight signature, especially on these stations in Switzerland. So looking at these stations across South America, it looks like none of them are actually picking up these quakes right now. Finally, let's come over to Missouri, where there was a magnitude 2.0. This was today at 0355 and at a 9.7 kilometer depth. Zooming into satellite, does not look like there is anything of interest. Coming over to the NHC, I do not know what is happening at the NHC. They seem to be very confused, actually. Now they have post-tropical cyclone Martin. It was just a hurricane yesterday, and they forecasted that it could be a major hurricane, but now it's a post-tropical. I think the NHC is confused. So there's their national outlook released at 2 p.m. EDT. They mention Hurricane Martin, but on their front page they say it's post-tropical. And interestingly, the forecaster's name is Zelensky. Coming over to Tropical Depression Lisa. The only thing the NHC says is isolated flash flooding is possible across portions of southeastern Mexico. So I guess we'll keep our eyes on the developments in the Atlantic. Thank you for checking out today's video, and stay tuned for the next one.